Welcome back to part 2 of illustrating my cats in a medieval illuminated letter. Today we're doing Polly. Oh, and she says hello. We're doing Polly today, and hello. We're using the same colors that I used in Sid's painting, but just changing it up a little bit. So I've got the blue for the P, and then the background is red, and then the little accent is green. As per usual, I was interrupted by all 3 of my cats today. Tad was first up while I was trying to ink the illustration. I had to kind of work around his body here. I also have I have Sid and Polly interrupting me while I'm doing the voiceover as well. For Polly's letter, I put her in a basket with some yarn because I thought it would sit nicely inside the letter. And as you can see, Polly also interrupted me. So before I move on to painting Polly's piece, I just wanted to add the gold accent into Sid's piece. If you watched my first video, you'll have seen that I misplaced this little palette. So I wanted to add that into Sid's first before I started on Polly's. I started with the blue letter, and Sid interrupted me while I was trying to do this. He actually interrupted me the most in this video. He's currently sitting right beside me. I had to hold his fluff away from the painting a couple of times during this process. He really likes to sit right on top. If you're curious about the paints that I'm using, there's a link in the description down below. They are Kuretake watercolors, and I did put an affiliate link down below. They're really nice. They're like a nice mix between gouache and watercolor. You can kind of get them really dark if you want to, like really saturated, or you can use them like watercolors. You'll notice on this, I was using a new tape, and it started running while I was painting the background, and I got really worried that I was ruining the paint. But luckily, when I did pull the tape off, it seemed to be in between the layers of tape rather than actually on the paper. I think there was only one small spot that was affected, and that may have just been my finger smudging it rather than the tape. So I decided to try and make it match the original one a little better, that I would still put a layer of yellow paint underneath where the gold is going to go. just because I thought it would make it look a little closer. I didn't want it to look too different from the other one. Then I had to do another layer of red here on the background because it just wasn't saturated enough. I used a little bit too much water the first time, but sometimes it's nice to do a couple layers anyway. And Sid once again interrupted me. He sat right on it, of course, and his fur was blowing with the fan that I had on. They really do like to help a lot. Painted the basket brown. I didn't put too many details in this because I knew there was going to be details in the background, and I didn't want to add too many details to the basket. So, hello, Polly. And painting Polly was fun. She is a dilute, long-haired calico cat. So she's got some nice grays and cream colors. Sometimes it was a little hard to get. Like, this is a pretty small painting, so it's, you know, it's a little hard to get when it's such a small painting, but I still had fun. I think she came out so cute and kind of derpy, which is perfect because if you've seen any medieval cat paintings, they're way derpier than this. Polly has nice green eyes that you probably saw in that slow motion clip. And here I broke out the pen again just to kind of touch up the edges of where the gold is, because the gold is kind of a bit more opaque than the watercolors. So my pen just kind of helps bring the lines back out. This one came out a little messier than I think Sid's did, and I remember while I was doing it I was really frustrated, especially with the reds, because they kind of were running everywhere. And luckily they were running right into the letter, but the gold thankfully covered that up. And now for the background I just did these little 4 dots all together. I kind of thought maybe it would look a little bit like a flower motif. I don't know, it's really satisfying to paint little blobs on there and then have them dry down. I tried not to be too particular about where I was placing them. Mostly I was just focused on making sure they were somewhat evenly spaced, but I wasn't too concerned about whether it was following exactly in the pattern. And now I'm just flipping through my Medieval Cats book to get a few ideas on what I want to do inside the letter. And I ended up going with a kind of wavy line with some dots, you'll see. And then I just did the wavy line like in the rounded parts of the letter. And then I did like a straight line down around the edges. And then I added the dots into the center. I really did have a lot of fun with this one. I do have TADs ready to go in terms of the sketch. It's all done out as well. So I have one more letter to go for my medieval cat series. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was part 2 of my medieval cat series. If you're interested in part 1, you can click the link on the screen to watch part 1. Part 3 will be up in a few weeks' time. If you're interested in following me on Ko-fi, there's a link down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.